So I'm going to preface this video by saying anyone in my family that's going to watch the video, don't. Because now it's time to go TMI with Tim. Let's roll right into this. So as you guys know, this is Wheel Life, and I like to try to keep it wheel with you guys. As you know, my life is like an open book, and ever since my first video, I want to help the next guy or girl with a spinal cord injury. So if you guys haven't already liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, share it out to anyone that can benefit from it, and it really helps the channel out. Thanks so much. As I said in that video, I'm able to get an erection, but at the time I wasn't able to ejaculate. And sometimes that erection happens too easy. Everyone's always like, Tim, why don't you wear sweatpants? I'm like, it's hard to hide something halfway down to your knee in sweatpants. But if you need help in that area, there's things like Viagra, which is sildenafil, is a generic version. Cialis, or something called Trimix, where it's actually an injection. You inject right in the side of your penis, and I haven't tried that one, but I've heard good things about it. So years ago, I would try, the traditional manual method to achieve ejaculation, and I never had any luck with that. I could tell something was happening, but what happens is you have retrograde ejaculation where it goes up inside the bladder instead of coming out. And then shortly after, I tried something called a bullet vibrator, and I had some response with that, but it just didn't work. And being an 18-year-old, a young adult, and you lose that function, it's kind of depressing. To where you can't have that satisfaction for one, and one, you can't have kids. It just gets in your mind and makes you depressed. You can't provide that satisfaction for your partner as well. So I started doing some research about it, and I followed a couple of Facebook groups, Spinal Cord Injury USA and Spinal Cord Peer Support USA. And there was a lot of guys on there that had success with what's called a Viborect. There's also the Ferticare. Those are very expensive models. You can get a prescription that helps you pay for some of that, but some guys also had luck with what's called a magic wand. And there's also what's called E-stim, electrostimulation. I tried that a little bit, but I didn't really get a good response out of that either. There's also what's known as prostate massage. A lot of guys have some luck with that, which also is a benefit to having a colostomy bag. There's no mess. So thumbs up for colostomies in that sense. So I finally got the courage up, and I did some searching, and I found what's called a thunder stick. So kind of like the cheaper version of a magic wand, this is a thunder stick. And let me tell you, this thing is mad powerful.
Oh yeah.
It has a dial on the back to where you can turn it up and down, and having limited mobility, it makes it a lot easier than push button. If anybody walks in, it doubles as a microphone. Just act like you're rocking out. Just you have to explain why you're rocking out with your cock out, so that's on you. The first time it happened, I didn't expect anything to happen. I just thought that was gone forever. And when it finally happened, I'll admit I cried a little bit. The emotions that came over me were so overwhelming. I had to rewind the video just to make sure it really did happen. And much to my surprise, it was amazing. So imagine 17 years goes by and almost 2 decades, and you finally get that satisfaction again, the emotions that would come over you. And actually, when it did happen, my legs kicked out straight, and I almost fell over the side of my chair. Just imagine that 911 call. So I'm actually a C5 incomplete injury, which I have feeling below my injury level. I just can't have any control over any of that. I have about 37% feeling over my body, some spots more than others. So just like before, you kind of find your spot, your G spot, or your quad spot, whatever you want to call it. And you want to work around so you find that spot. And like some people I've talked to are afraid when they have the muscle spasms. Those muscle spasms are actually what your body needs to ejaculate. So safely, if you can, if you're on antispasm medication or pain medication, if you can safely skip that dose or a dose or two, just don't hurt yourself. You just want to listen to your body and what your body's doing. So when you find that spot, you're gonna probably have some muscle contraction. So you kind of want to go with that. And I notice those muscle contractions when I find that spot is what actually helps. And you can kind of feel it building up. You get that flush tingle feeling. So if you're trying it for the first time, you may want to strap your legs in or try it in bed. Make sure your seatbelt's on, things like that. Just play it safe. One thing I want to hit hard on is autonomic dysreflexia, where you get a sudden spike in blood pressure, and it can actually be fatal. So definitely be careful of that. It did happen to me one time, but it was because I was pushing too hard, and you just want to be careful. You don't do that. You just don't push too hard. You just want light pressure, kind of experiment a little bit and find your spot, what works best for you. And I'll kind of give a little demonstration with a prop I have, and to try to help the guys out. So just like normal, you want to find your spot. If you can feel that tingle or that muscle spasm. The first time I felt it was something new, and it felt amazing. And then I have the Magic Wand. It's a push button. It's a little harder to finagle, but it has 4 settings. The other one, like I said, it has the dial, so you can kind of dial in what you like. This one has the 4 settings. What works for me is kind of starting on 3 or 4 and then working back down. Because if you go too long, it almost kind of goes numb, if that makes sense, and I don't get a very good response out of it. But definitely heavier than the other one. It is a good workout, plus you get all those awesome brain chemicals when you ejaculate, so it's good for you in a multitude of ways. So this is actually how I put it on. It's actually upside down, and what I did was I took Gorilla Tape and I went and made a strap and kind of folded it over itself and kind of went around the front and back to kind of adhere it to it, and it works really well. So the guys with complete injuries may not feel that tingle sensation, so you kind of got to watch for your muscle spasms. Listen to your body, or let your body tell you what it likes and what it doesn't. So shortly after, I was having issues with my catheter, and my doctor did what's called a stricture dilation, where they actually open up the urethra a little bit. And actually when that had, so after that procedure, when I tried, I actually got some height out of it when it happened, and I was really surprised when that actually happened. Alright, so I'm going to try to give you guys a couple tips on some spots to try that may work for you, that I get a lot of success with. Alright, so I have my prop here. Hey, that's a fairly accurate representation. The one where I was after the stricture that had some height to it, I was actually on the back side over here. And what you want to do is you want to add a little bit of pressure, and you get that little extra flex in it, and the guys will know what I'm talking about. So I pushed in and I pushed toward the bladder a little bit, and I just kept doing that over and over. And then when it finally happened, my legs kicked out and they started contracting, and crazy muscle spasm happened. And just be ready for that. Another spot that I almost have success with every time is just under the head on the left or the right, where they call the glans without a D, like G-L-A-N-S. You want to go for there. You just add a little bit of pressure in and down, and then same with down, just a little bit on the same side or the opposite side. So I've had some good luck with those spots. So you may want to try those. And like I said, just be on the lookout for the autonomic dysreflexia and the muscle spasm. They get pretty intense. So I want to wish you guys luck. Give the video a big thumbs up. Like I said, share it out to anyone that can benefit from it. And if anybody has any questions that they don't want to leave in the comments, you're welcome to email me. This is reallife1@gmail.com. And we can talk over there as well. And like I said, be on the lookout for autonomic dysreflexia, the headache. Watch out for the headache. Watch out for the muscle spasms. Be safe and have fun. And I wish you guys the best of luck. We'll see you on the next one.